Most newsletters feel difficult to write because people try to reinvent them every single week. I used to be there, so I know. But you know what? When your emails follow a simple, repeatable layout, writing them becomes dramatically easier. So instead of starting from scratch every single time, you're simply filling in a structure that already exists. In the previous video, in this 5-part series, we talked about planning your newsletters in a simple 5 email series. I'll drop the link to that below if you haven't watched that yet. That approach helps you decide what to send. But today, we're going to talk about something that is equally important, maybe even a little more important, and that is deciding how your newsletter is structured. Because when every email follows the same layout, writing and sending your newsletter becomes much faster and much more consistent. When someone opens your newsletter, they should quickly understand what they're going to find, okay? The same way readers expect sections in a magazine or a blog, your newsletter can follow a very predictable structure. This helps both you and your subscribers because you know what to write and your readers begin to recognize and actually expect the format. Now, your newsletter might include sections like these. These are just examples, okay? Maybe an introduction to the week's topic as the first section, and then a short teaching or insight that's related to your series, a resource, a tool, a freebie, maybe a business highlight, or you can make it an announcement space, maybe a question for your readers. And always you need a clear call to action. Now, not every newsletter has to include every section, okay? The key is simply choosing a structure that you can repeat week after week. So when you use the same layout every week, writing becomes so much easier. So you're no longer asking, like, oh, how should I write this email? What's the important point, right? You already know the structure. You simply fill in the sections. Over time, this turns your newsletter into a rhythm instead of a task. Your subscribers, they begin to recognize the format, which builds familiarity and trust. And your newsletter structure, it doesn't have to look exactly like mine, okay? If you're on my list, I don't want you to think that, or anyone else's. In fact, some creators I know, they use a format like 3 ideas, 2 resources, 1 tip. They call it 3-2-1. Others include sections like a quick win of the week, maybe a behind the scenes with, updates. It could be reader questions or tools that they're currently using. The goal isn't copying someone else. You can look at other people's for ideas, right? But make sure you make it you. The goal is creating a structure that feels natural for you, that you want to repeat consistently. Now, if you'd like some help planning your first newsletter structure, the weekly newsletter system checklist, it can help you kind of outline your newsletter, especially those sections, and map out your first 5 emails. It's a real simple 1-page guide. It's going to walk you through the planning process. You can download it using the link that's in the description below. A lot of people I know have told me that they use it as a starting point when creating their newsletter system. So once you choose your newsletter and you've got the layout, I want you to try to keep it consistent. Use the same sections, use similar formatting, and then keep the overall structure familiar. Consistency is going to make your newsletter easier to write and easier for your readers to follow. Now, in the next video, I am going to show you how to organize all of your newsletter ideas in Google Sheets. Oh, how I love this. This is so that you will always know what's coming next. This step is going to help you move from planning into a system that keeps everything organized. So you can go ahead and watch that video now. It should be popping up here on your screen, and we're going to set that up together. If it's not there, it just means that you're early because I do post a new episode every Monday, all right? But while you're waiting, if it's not there yet, be sure and grab the weekly newsletter system checklist. Like I said, that link is below, and I'll see you in the next video.